Okay, here we go. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? Ooh, let's adjust the hat. How you doing? Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Tell me where you're streaming in from. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. So we're looking at. I think this is going to be the final time we use this particular affirmation. I am the one that wins. I am the one that wins. We're looking at the secret. It's not really a secret at all, and you'll hear it about it in a minute. But the secret to being the one that wins. How is it that certain people win and others don't? How is it that actually, well, if the statistics are to be believed, 80% of most business owners do not win? What is the difference for the 20%? That's what we want to know. And this was the question I asked when I started working with this my multi-millionaire coach person about a 6 months or so, or 6 months to a year into working with her. I did ask the question, what is the one thing what's the one thing I need to know? If there's only one thing I need to know to make sure that I get to the point of multi seven figures in my business, what would it be? And she did give me the answer, and I'm going to give it to you today as well. I've said it 20 million times before, but let's keep the suspense going. Tell me where you're streaming in from. I want to know. And we're going to start, as always, by singing the affirmation. Okay? So you should all know it by now. I am the one that wins. I am the one that wins. Are you the one that wins? So we're affirming that together. So even as I'm saying I am the one that wins, you need to be saying it for yourself. I am the one that wins. Okay, here we go. Deep breath in. Let's just invite the divine to be here with us now. Well, the divine is always here with us, really. But let's acknowledge that we are surrounded by love, that we're filled by love, that we are the ones that win because we contain the divine and because you know what, we've chosen to win. Okay, here we go. I am the one that wins. I am the one that wins. I am the one that wins. I will not be swayed. I always win. Sing it with me now. I am the one that wins. I am the one that wins. I am the one that wins. I will not be swayed. I always win. I will not be swayed. I always win. I will not be swayed. I always win. Woohoo! You are the one that wins. I am the one that wins. And why is it that we win? Why is it that we win? What is the secret to winning? What is the difference between people who win and people who do not win? I feel like I say this every single day, but I want to be very specific about it to you right here. And I want to keep it down to its very simplest, the simplest idea here. What is the difference between someone who wins and someone who doesn't? What's the difference between someone who succeeds and someone who so-called fails? The big difference is simply, and this is told to me by this multimillionaire coach of mine, and is demonstrated time and time again, even with the clients that I work with myself. The one who wins is the one who doesn't quit. It's the one who keeps going anyway. The one who doesn't tell themselves stories about why it is harder for them than it is for everybody else. The one who doesn't wait for everything to be perfect before they just keep taking the next step. The one who keeps their word to themselves that they will win. Because the one certainty you absolutely definitely have is this: if you quit, then you have failed. If you stop, you have failed. And I know it seems so obvious, but it's like we don't always know how long it's going to take for you to get to whatever you consider to be success. So it might be to get to your 6-figure income or to get to your 7-figure income or whatever it is. You don't know always from start how long that is going to take. That's in some ways it's quite an uncertainty, though it is helped by some of the stuff that I've definitely talked about this week about, where your focus is and all of that stuff will accelerate things for sure. But the one certainty you definitely have is this. And I've had to say this at times, even to my partner, to my husband, when there were times when it looked as if nothing was changing in the business, and he started to get to the point of saying, why, what's the point in you doing this? Why are you still doing this? And the thing I kept saying to him was, the only certainty I have is this: if I stop, then I will never win. If I stop, I will never win. And now, yeah, if you listen to psychologists and read certain books, there's this whole confirmation bias, or there's all this kind of, I don't know, there's all different biases that people live by. And then I did used to have thrown at me by my partner about, oh, is it just because you're giving so much to it now that you just don't want to quit anymore because you just feel like you can't stop now, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you know what? I don't care what psychologists are saying. What I do know for certain is this: if I quit, I will never reach Project 334K. It's a certainty that I will never get there. And it was always because at the back of my brain somewhere, well, it was all, I say it's always because of that, as in, it's always because I remembered asking this coach of mine this simple question of, if there was only one thing that I needed to do to reach my goals, and her saying, just keep going, just keep going. Which, when I heard it first in 2014 or something, I thought, oh, well, that's easy. I can do that. But the truth of the matter is, if you've built a business, or if you've attempted to build a business, I was just actually speaking to somebody who in theory has built many businesses and was telling me about how entrepreneurial she is. But then with some deep questioning, she was actually more like me before my children. So pre-children phase, where I dabbled a whole lot of businesses, where I start this and start the other and start the other and pretend that I'm doing it. But really, I was not committed. Where was I going with that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I had a thought, and then I thought about it, and then I've gone off on a random tangent. But coming back to asking this coach and me saying to myself, yes, that, okay, well, I can do that. I can just keep going. But having now gone through, and I can now look back on this journey, if I had realized just how sometimes incredibly impossible it would feel to just keep going, would I have been would I have so easily said, oh, I'll just keep going? And I'm saying this to you guys because for some of y'all, some of you are going through some seriously dark times. Because building a business, there are times when you will go through dark times, and there's no way to avoid it. In fact, in some ways, that going through the dark times and overcoming them is part of you becoming the person who has a multi-six-figure or 7-figure business or whatever, okay? Because you have to become someone who's very resilient. Because the challenge is, they don't disappear. They may change somewhat, or more to the point, you change. You become so solidly firm within yourself that it doesn't matter anymore what is happening out in the physical reality. It doesn't matter what anybody tries to throw at you anymore, because you know that I'm here for the long haul. I don't care what is going on. I know what I'm about. And therefore, I will, throw whatever you like at me. I am reaching my goals. And becoming that person means you do have to go through some stuff in order to become that solid, unshakable, unswayable person, like we've been singing in the affirmation all week. I will not be swayed. I always win. It's easy to say this stuff. It's easy to watch the movies of, all ends in 2 hours, how they go through such hard times and such difficulties, and everything seems to be against them. And, and then, at the end of the 2-hour movie, they win and everything is amazing. But then when it's your turn to be going through stuff, all the people that watch the movie with you will be telling you. I remember the movie Joy. I don't know if any of you have watched the movie Joy. I think it has somebody Lawrence in it. Jennifer Lawrence, I believe she's in it. And I loved that movie so much. I still love it, because it demonstrates a woman, an overgiver, like a lot of the women in this community, a lot of the people, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, a lot of the people in this community were overgivers, okay? An overgiver deciding that she was going to build out this mop, basically, and get herself on QVC or something along those lines, and all the challenges she went through, even to the point where finally her whole family was telling her to go bankrupt, and she had to hold out, even against, it felt like nothing would ever change. And then everything did. because she held out. She just kept going. Now, the thing is, you can watch a movie like that and be inspired. You can listen to me talking now and be inspired. But the movie is over in 2 hours. But what if it's happening to you and it's taking 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? And yeah, you're getting some wins, but it's nowhere near what you imagined when you started the journey to building a business that would transform lives and make you 6 figures. Will you still keep taking the next step anyway? Doing whatever is necessary to keep yourself moving forward. Loving yourself enough that you will not give up on your vision. That you will do the simple thing of just keep moving forward. That you will get support when you need it, because sometimes just keep moving forward. Let's be very wise about this, because some of y'all, you have been moving forward, but you're doing stuff because without any strategy, without any sensible kind of strategy. You're just doing it on your own, doing your lone wolf craziness, and you're continuing to not trust anyone, instead of realizing that lack of trust sometimes is exactly what is going to keep you stuck, because you're not getting the help you need. So just keep going and doing stuff that is not going to work ever is definitely a source of frustration. But when you know, really truly know that you have a strategy that can take you to 6 figures, you have to simply just keep doing it. Okay? You can't wait for some perfect plan, but you can have a strategy. You can see, okay, that's worked. I have a general idea that it's going to work, so I can keep doing that. But if you don't have a strategy, please don't just keep going. Please ask for support. Okay? Please ask for support. Please confirm that what you keep doing has the possibility of working. Yes, I understand that your plans might pivot and change and everything, but don't make it any harder on yourself than it needs to be. Because as I said, if you really realize just how incredibly difficult this journey can sometimes be, at the start, I'm not sure many people were, well, I like the fact that I didn't know, because ultimately you're only given what you can handle at the time that it's given to you, right? But then, where am I going? Let's just come back to the simplicity of the secret, which is keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't wait for a perfect plan. Take the next step. Don't wait for everybody to like what you're doing. You might even have people who are telling you, listen, this is never going to work. Just give it up right now. Don't listen to them. Even when it is the darkest of the dark, expect that sometimes it will feel like the darkest of the dark. Expect that sometimes it will feel as though you are literally deluding yourself. And still, you keep going. Because again, the only one certainty you are absolutely sure of is if you quit, you will never, ever reach your goal. That you can be absolutely definite about. It isn't going to mysteriously come at you from some other angle just because you finally surrendered and now suddenly the gift comes to me. No, honey, you are going to create a vision very deliberately. It will not happen by chance. It will not happen because you prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and affirmed and visualized, but then didn't take any action. It will not happen that way. You may have a few miracles here and there, but to get the sustainable, consistent income coming through, it will be very deliberately created because you simply kept going. Okay? You kept going. You knew when to get support and you got it. Despite the last time you tried to get support from somebody, and all the stories that people like to say, oh, I paid that coach this amount of money and nothing ever came from it. When really, when it came down to it, you quit. Don't blame anybody else for the fact that you quit, okay? Let us take full ownership of where we are in life. No one is responsible for our success, not even the divine, my love. The divine will not force you to keep going. You have within you the ability to persevere, regardless of how difficult it gets. And for some of you all, this might be scary to hear, but for some of you who are going through dark times and are very committed to your vision, this is exactly what you need to hear. Because I know when I was in the darkest of times, I wanted to hear stories of people who had gone through really dark times and somehow come out the other end. Because there will be times when you're growing a business when it really does feel And I know I've said this a few times, but I want to emphasize it because, again, when I was going through my dark times, I could have done with anybody just telling me, Rosemary, it's okay. You will come out the other side. Just keep going. Just keep going. Most of the world will be trying to tell you not to, that you shouldn't even listen to people like me, that we give you false hope, that it's better that you settle into a life, that you settle into the life that other people consider to be good enough. That, and in some ways, I sometimes think of religion and some, well, mostly religion, frankly. I feel as if sometimes it attempts to make people satisfied with a less than life, hoping that in the next life everything will be better then. So don't expect it now. Don't fight for it now. Don't go all in for it now, because in heaven everything will be fine then. But now, don't expect things to be fine. No, expect things to be fine now. Okay, even Jesus said that you can expect the reward in this life and the next, basically. So don't buy into anybody who is lovingly trying to make you feel better by saying, honey, just give it up for now. Maybe this is not the right timing, blah, blah. Fuck that. Okay. Let me be honest about that. Yeah, that's how I feel about it when I hear people trying to make people feel better about settling for nothing. I will never be that person. I will always be the one that tells you, honey, yes, I understand that right now feels terrible, but listen, keep freaking going, because the reward, it's not even a reward. The goal, the outcome that you're going for is worth it. It's not a reward for having gone through the drama and everything. There's nothing about reward here. We all deserve to live a free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love-drenched life. It's not about jumping through enough hoops or paying any price or paying the price before we're finally allowed to succeed. No, it's not about that. It's about simply deciding what you want to have happen in your life and sticking with it until it happens. Refusing to take no for an answer. I don't care how dark it seems at times. You are the authority in your life. You have the power within you. You have God power within you to create the life you want if you will simply just keep going. And for you, some of y'all who are still sitting on the fence, waiting for everything to be perfect before you start. In some ways, I'm not speaking to you because, frankly, you're not even in the game yet. But for you who have been thinking, because we've been trained, so, I'll give you some exceptions here, because we've all been programmed and trained to believe that we shouldn't do anything until everything is lined up in a row. There's a certain amount of wisdom to counting the costs before you get going. Even Jesus mentioned that make sure you count the costs before you start building the house, because it'll be stupid if you quit the house in the middle of it. So I'm telling you the cost here, that sometimes it will feel like hell when you're growing a business to 6 figures, particularly that first 6 figures. Oh my goodness, that first 6 figures will demand everything from you, and it will feel like hell at times. It is not unusual to feel this way. This is why I'm saying this to you, so you do not assume that somehow your troubles are somehow different from everybody else's troubles, that no one's seen the trouble you've seen. It's a lie. Anyone that has overcome, apart from some particularly lucky people or something, I don't know. But I don't even believe that, truth be told. I don't even believe that. Everyone has had to go through a certain amount of emotional craziness, because it is all emotional. It's all about how you're feeling. It's not actually, so yes, it could be taking a long time, but the problem isn't that you can't do the things, is that it's whether you have the resilience, the strength to hold on when all of you and most of your body has been trained to say, when things are this difficult, you're supposed to quit. Do not quit. Keep going forward. Let people think what they want to think about you. Let people judge you if they want to, when they're sitting on their couches, settling into a life that they do not love, getting autoimmune conditions because they are fighting themselves to stay stuck in a life they hate. Basically, you do not want to join them. They may look successful right now, but where you are going is way beyond that. Do not look to other people who seem to have it together right now and then look at yourself and wonder, why the frick am I still doing this thing? keep taking the next step. Get the help if necessary, but become that person that you see yourself as being. Be the way shower for other people in your family line. Be the first millionaire in your family line. Be the first one that runs a super successful business in your family line. Be that one who, when you say, I'm doing this thing, you actually do it. Ooh, I have a client calling in 4 minutes, so we need to end this. But just keep going is the secret. You don't have to do it even perfectly. It doesn't need to be, you don't have to get every single action right. As long as you have in your mind, in your heart, the vision that you are going towards, you are leaned into the divine, trusting that the divine has your back and is carrying you and is with you all the way, so you can take the risks that you need to take to keep moving forward, then keep going. Keep going. This is how you win. This is how you win. When it comes down to it, after you've done all you know to do, keep taking the next step. That's it. Keep taking the next step. That's it. It's so simple, but so difficult. So simple, and yet so difficult. Keep taking the next step. That's it. That's it. Give up instant gratification. Sometimes things do not happen immediately. It doesn't mean that you're not meant for it. It just means that you have no idea how long it's going to take. What you do know, however, is that it is going to take, because you will not stop until it does. So literally, you've cut off all other options. It must shift. The life you want must come to pass. Have that attitude inside of you and refuse to stop. Keep your vision here, right at the top and center of mind and heart, and keep going towards it, knowing that the universe backs up a committed mind. Just keep going. You are not alone in the struggle. Reach out for support if you need it. You do not have to keep doing this alone. Definitely come and have a conversation with me. Reach out to me and I'll tell you how you can have that conversation with me. Or get the book. Get the Remove the Blocks book. Yeah? The link is around this video, or it depends on where you're listening to it, of course. It's either in my bio or it's around this video. Go get the book. Come into the community. I offer different ways to work with me to equip you to make 6 figures whilst living in your purpose. You deserve a free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love-drenched life, but only if you will just keep going. And it's so much easier to do it when you have support. Come into my world by getting a copy of the book. And then you'll be told all the various next steps that you can take to come deeper into the Deliberate Millionaire community. Until then, my loves, the secret, remember, is to just keep going. Okay? Just keep going. Don't tell stories. Don't tell yourself, oh, nobody else would have. No stories. Just keep going. Okay, I'm going to finish that. Until the next time, my loves, go forth and prosper. You deserve to prosper, so go forth and prosper, okay? Much amazing love. Such a pleasure, as always, to come hang out with you guys. If there's any questions or anything you would specifically want my input on, make sure you put it in the comments beneath the video that you're watching, and that will give me ideas for things that I can talk about, because I want to make sure that I'm serving you in a way that feels good to you. Okay, so if there's anything that you would like me specifically to speak into, ask the question. Okay, put it in the comments. I'll look through the comments later on and pick out something to answer. Okay, now until the next time, great, have a great time, have a great life, go forth and prosper. I better go. Much amazing love, loves. Bye.